Before you scroll away, I need to tell you something that is going to make you uncomfortable. By the end of the next few minutes, you will understand exactly why you are broke, while others who are less talented, less hardworking, and less deserving than you are building empires. And once you see it, you will never unsee it. The question is whether you can handle the truth, or whether you will run back to the comfortable lies that have kept you trapped your entire life. I am about to hand you a weapon, but weapons are dangerous. They can free you or they can destroy you, depending on whether you have the spine to use them. Most people do not. Most people will click away from this video within the next 60 seconds, because what I am about to say will make their entire belief system collapse. And humans will do anything to protect their beliefs, even stay poor. But you are still here. So let us begin. Here is what they did to you. Before you could even form memories, they started programming your brain. Every bedtime story about good things happening to good people. Every lesson about working hard and waiting your turn. Every piece of advice from adults who themselves never escaped the system. It was all code. Malicious code designed to make you a perfect worker and a terrible owner. You were infected with poverty before you learned to tie your shoes. And the sickest part is, you have been defending the virus. You call it being realistic, you call it security, you call it just how life works. But I am about to show you, it is none of those things. It is a prison. And you have been loving your cell. You have been decorating the walls of your cage and calling it home. Think about the last time someone told you to be realistic. Think about who said it. Were they rich? Were they free? Were they living the life you actually want? Or were they trapped in the same system telling you to lower your expectations so you would not make them feel bad about their own surrender? The people who tell you to be realistic are almost always people who gave up on their own dreams and need you to give up too, so they feel less alone in their failure. Now, I could tell you the way out right now. I could give you the exact formula in the next 30 seconds. But you would not believe me. Your programming would reject it like a body rejecting a transplanted organ. So first I need to show you how deep the cage actually goes. Only then will the escape route make sense. Stay with me, because what comes next changes everything. Wealth is not complicated. I know that sounds insane after everything you have been told. The financial industry spends billions making money seem mysterious. They use complex words and confusing charts because confusion creates dependency. If you understood how simple it was, you would not need them. Their entire business model depends on you feeling stupid. But the reason you do not have money has nothing to do with intelligence or luck or timing or the economy or your parents or where you were born. It has everything to do with one thing. You have been solving the wrong problems. Let me explain what I mean, because this is the part that nobody talks about. And once you understand it, everything else clicks into place. Every single dollar that exists in the world started as a solution to pain. Not your pain, someone else's pain. Money is simply a receipt that proves you made suffering stop. The bigger the suffering, the bigger the receipt. The more desperate the sufferer, the faster they pay. This is so simple it sounds stupid. But watch what happens when you actually apply it to your own life. Right now you probably get paid for your time. You show up at a place. You do tasks that someone else assigned to you. You leave, you get a number deposited into your account. You have been doing this so long it feels normal, it feels like the only way. But I need you to understand something that might make you angry. This is exactly what peasants did in medieval times. They woke up, they worked land they did not own. They gave most of what they produced to lords who did nothing but own things. They kept just enough to survive. They were told to be grateful. They believed their children might have it better. They died with nothing, and the cycle repeated. You are doing the same thing. The only difference is your chains are invisible, your field is an office, your lord wears a suit, and your cage has Wi-Fi and Netflix to keep you distracted between shifts. The wealthy do not sell time, they sell the removal of pain, and here is the part that will either set you free or send you running back to the comfort of denial. The pain you currently solve is too small. Let that land. The problems you fix are easy problems. Anyone can do what you do, which means you can be replaced by anyone. A new graduate, a cheaper worker overseas, eventually a machine that never sleeps or complains or asks for raises, and anything replaceable is worthless. That is not me being cruel, that is economics. The market does not pay for effort, it pays for scarcity. If you are not scarce, you have no leverage. If you have no leverage, you will spend your life begging for what you could be commanding. I am not saying this to make you feel bad about yourself. I am saying this because until you see the problem with painful clarity, you cannot solve it. You will keep applying for slightly better jobs. You will keep hoping for raises that barely match inflation. You will keep running on the wheel while wondering why you never actually move forward, but knowing this is not enough. Because there is another trap waiting for you. A trap that catches almost everyone who figures out the first part, and I will show you exactly what it is in a moment, because falling into it will waste years of your life. First, you need to understand why the thing you are taught to worship is actually the thing keeping you poor. Hard work. Those two words have been drilled into you since birth. Your parents worked hard. Their parents worked hard. Generations of your bloodline exhausted themselves and passed down nothing but the same tired advice and the same empty bank accounts. Work harder. Be patient. Stay loyal. Your turn will come. But your turn never comes, does it? And deep down you already know why. You have watched people who work half as hard as you earn 10 times more. You have seen lazy people get promoted while you got passed over. You have felt the unfairness, but you kept believing anyway, because questioning it meant questioning everything, and that was too terrifying. So let me question it for you. Hard work is not a wealth strategy. It is a survival strategy for people who do not know there is another way. It keeps you alive. It does not make you free. There is a massive difference between surviving and thriving, and most people never learn it, because they are too exhausted from surviving to think about anything else. That exhaustion is not an accident. It is by design. Think about this and really let it sink in. A construction worker destroys his body for 40 years. He wakes before sunrise. He builds structures that will stand for a century. He creates tangible value you can see and touch. He goes home with aching joints and a breaking back, and he barely makes rent. Meanwhile, someone who has never lifted anything heavier than a pen owns the buildings he constructs. That owner collects rent checks while sleeping on Tuesday mornings. Both people worked. One built wealth. One built someone else's wealth. The difference is not effort. The difference is not even intelligence. The difference is something called leverage. And leverage is the most important word you will ever learn about money. More important than investing. More important than saving. More important than any financial advice anyone has ever given you. Leverage means getting results that are wildly disproportionate to your input. It is the secret the wealthy guard with their lives. It is why they can work less and earn more. It is why their money grows while they vacation, and there are only 3 ways to get it. I'm going to give you all 3, but pay very close attention to the third one, because that is the one you can start using today without any money or connections. The first type is people leverage. Instead of carrying stones yourself, you hire 10 people to carry stones, and you take a percentage of every stone they move. You organize the work once. You get paid continuously. Every business owner understands this. They make money from the gap between what they pay workers and what clients pay them. You have been on the wrong side of this equation your entire life. The second type is money leverage. Instead of saving coins in a jar like your grandparents taught you, the wealthy use other people's money to buy things that generate income. Banks will literally hand you hundreds of thousands of dollars to buy assets if you know how to ask. Then tenants or customers pay off that debt while you keep the property. You own more and more while owing less and less. Your money makes money, which makes more money. This is how fortunes are built, not through saving, through multiplying. The third type, and this is the one that can change your life fastest, is content and code leverage. This is new. This did not exist for most of human history. But it exists now, and it is the greatest equalizer ever created. You create something once, and it works forever. This video I am making right now, I record it once. It gets watched thousands of times, maybe hundreds of thousands, maybe millions. The work happened one time. The payment never stops. Every view, every new subscriber, every person who finds this years from now, it keeps paying. The same is true for software. Write code once, sell it forever. Write a book once, collect royalties forever. Build a system once, it runs without you forever. This is leverage so powerful that it would have seemed like magic to every generation before us. If you must physically show up somewhere to get paid, you are trapped. You have zero leverage. Every hour you are not working is an hour you are not earning. Your income has a ceiling. Your time has a limit. You are trading the only thing you cannot make more of for money that loses value every year. You are not building a life. You are being the machine. And until you understand this, you will keep grinding yourself into dust, wondering why nothing ever changes, wondering why you feel exhausted, but your account stays empty, wondering why time keeps passing, but freedom never arrives. But here is where most people destroy themselves even after they learn about leverage. This is the trap I mentioned earlier, and I have seen it ruin people who are so close to breaking free. They think they need to become more valuable to earn more money. They go back to school, they get certifications, they learn new skills, and none of it works because they missed the point entirely. You do not need to become more valuable. You need to appear more valuable. Read that again. Reality is negotiable. Perception is everything. The world does not pay you what you are worth. It pays you what it thinks you are worth. And right now you are probably advertising yourself as cheap without even realizing it. Two people can have identical skills, the same education, the same experience, the same abilities. One presents himself as premium. He has a polished presence. He speaks with certainty. He is difficult to reach. He charges prices that make people nervous. The other presents himself as available. He responds instantly because he is afraid of missing opportunities. He charges low prices because he does not believe he deserves more. He accepts disrespect because he thinks keeping the peace matters more than keeping his dignity. Who gets paid more? The first one, every single time, by a factor of 5 or 10 or 20. This is not unfair. This is physics. This is how human brains work. We are hierarchy-obsessed animals. Evolution wired us to give resources to people who appear to already have resources. We instinctively follow and reward high status, and we instinctively take from and dismiss low status. You cannot fight millions of years of programming. You can only use it. Every single thing about you is sending signals right now. How fast you reply to messages, how much you charge, how available you are, how you speak and dress and carry yourself, your social media, your email response time, your willingness to negotiate. It is all being read and judged instantly. Right now you are probably signaling that you are cheap and desperate, not because you are, but because no one taught you that you were even sending signals in the first place. You reply too fast because you were taught that responsiveness is polite. But the market reads it as desperation. You charge too little because you compare yourself to others who also charge too little. You accept poor treatment because you were taught to be agreeable. The wealthy signal scarcity even when they are hungry for business. They are hard to reach. They make you wait. They charge prices that seem unreasonable until you realize that the price itself is what makes people believe in the value. They walk away from deals without flinching because they know that neediness repels money, and because they act like the prize, the world treats them like the prize. This is not arrogance. This is strategy. If you want to be treated like gold, you need to stop acting like sand. Here is a test. Think about how you feel when something is expensive and hard to get versus cheap and available everywhere. Which one do you assume is better? Which one do you want more? Now realize that people are making the same judgment about you every single day based on signals you did not even know you were sending. Now there is something else I need to show you, something that is sabotaging you every single day without your knowledge. And when I explain it, you are going to realize it has been happening your entire life. The people around you are not neutral. They are active forces. They are either pulling you up or dragging you down. There is no middle ground. And I need you to be brutally honest with yourself about which one is happening in your life. If your friends spend time complaining about how unfair life is, you are inhaling their weakness with every conversation. Their words enter your ears and become your thoughts. Their limitations become your limitations. Their ceiling becomes your ceiling. This is not metaphor. This is neuroscience. Mirror neurons in your brain literally cause you to adopt the patterns of people you spend time with. You are being programmed by your environment, whether you want to be or not. If your family tells you to play it safe, they are projecting their own fear onto your future. They are not protecting you. They are protecting themselves from having to watch you try and possibly fail. Because if you fail, it confirms their decision to never try. And if you succeed, it condemns them. So they need you to stay small. If your partner values security over growth, they will become an anchor chained to your potential. You will suggest an opportunity and they will list reasons it might not work. You will dream and they will worry. You will try to rise and they will pull you back down while calling it love. And eventually you will drown together in comfortable mediocrity, wondering what happened to the fire you used to feel. I know this is hard to hear. These are people you care about. But caring about someone does not make them good for you. Love does not automatically mean compatibility, and loyalty to people who are holding you back is not noble. It is suicide in slow motion. This is not cruelty, this is surgery. Some relationships are tumors. They grow slowly and kill quietly. They feel normal because they've always been there, but normal is not the same as healthy. You must cut out what is killing you, or it will consume everything you could have become. This is one of the hardest parts of building a new life. It is also one of the most necessary. And the infection goes beyond people. Look at how you spend your attention every single day. Every hour scrolling social media is an hour donated to corporations that profit from your distraction. Think about that. You are doing unpaid labor for billionaires. Your eyeballs on their content generate their advertising revenue. You get nothing except a slightly more numb brain. Every outrage video you watch steals energy you could invest in yourself. Every mindless entertainment session trains your brain to need stimulation instead of produce value. The algorithms are designed by the smartest engineers on earth to be maximally addictive. You are not relaxing when you scroll. You are being harvested. Your attention is the product being sold to advertisers, and you are giving it away for free while wondering why you have no energy left to build something of your own. The ability to focus deeply for hours without distraction is becoming the rarest and most valuable skill on earth. In a world of addicts, anyone who can sit down and do deep work becomes superhuman by comparison. Develop this ability and you will outperform people who are smarter than you, because intelligence means nothing without the focus to apply it. Protect your attention like it is money. Actually protect it more than money. because attention converts into skills, skills convert into solutions, solutions convert into wealth. Every distraction breaks this chain and pushes your freedom further away. Now here is where we separate the people who talk about wealth from the people who actually build it. And this might be the most important part of everything I am telling you today, so do not let your attention drift. You must become comfortable being disliked. You must become immune to the opinions of people who do not matter. The masses worship niceness. They see aggression as evil. They see ambition as greed. They see confidence as arrogance. They see boundary enforcement as cruelty. And these people are broke. Their opinions on wealth are as useful as a blind person's opinion on colors. When a broke person calls you greedy, you should feel proud. It means you have escaped the mental cage they're still trapped in. To build wealth, you must negotiate without guilt. You must fire people who fail you without losing sleep. You must take market share from competitors without apologizing. You must say no to requests that waste your time without explaining yourself. You must watch people call you cold and feel absolutely nothing because their comfort is not your responsibility. You are not here to be liked. You are here to be free, and those are often opposite directions. If you feel guilty about wanting money, you will repel it. Guilt is a magnet in reverse. Money does not flow to people who think it is dirty or evil or corrupting. Money flows to people who see it as a tool and reach for it without shame or hesitation. Your guilt about success was programmed into you deliberately. It keeps you manageable. It keeps you from asking for more. It keeps you grateful for scraps. It is time to delete that code permanently. Making money means nothing if you cannot keep it. And this is where most people fail, even after they start earning real amounts. The entire world is designed to take your wealth back the moment it arrives. Governments tax you. Corporations spend billions engineering advertisements to manipulate you into buying things you do not need to impress people you do not like. Inflation silently steals the value of your savings every single day. Friends and family suddenly appear needing loans and favors. Lifestyle creep convinces you that you need a bigger house and a nicer car now that you can afford them. If you earn $1 million and spend $1 million, you are not wealthy. You are a temporary storage container for other people's future wealth. You are a pipe that money flows through on its way to someone else's account. Real wealth is not what passes through your hands. Real wealth is what stays. It is the money sitting in assets growing and compounding while you sleep and live your life. The wealthy understand a rule that the poor never learn. Never buy luxuries with money you worked for. Buy assets first. Let the assets generate income. Then let that income buy your luxuries. If you work to afford a car, you become a slave to that car for years. You must keep working to make payments and pay for insurance and maintenance. But if you build investments first and let the returns buy the car, your money did the work. You stayed free. That is the difference between slavery with nice things and actual freedom. When money starts coming to you, stay silent about it. The loudest person in any room is usually performing wealth they do not have. They lease cars they cannot afford. They buy watches to prove something. They talk about money constantly because they are insecure about money constantly. Real wealth moves quiet. It does not need to prove anything because it has nothing to prove. Buy your freedom before you buy your status symbols. The ability to wake up without an alarm and decide how to spend your day is worth more than any car or watch or house. That is the only status that actually matters. Everything else is costume jewelry. Now I need to talk about time, because this is where everything connects, and this is where most people lose without even knowing the game was being played. You are dying right now. Every second that passes is permanently deleted from your existence. You do not get it back. There are no refunds. I am not saying this to frighten you. I am saying it to wake you up from the trance you have been living in. Poor people sell time for money. Rich people buy other people's time with money. This is the core divide between those who escape and those who die in the cage. When you spend 3 hours doing a task that someone else would do for $20, you are declaring that your time is worth less than $7 per hour. When you wait in line for an hour to save $10, you are saying your life is worth less than minimum wage. When you do chores that could be outsourced, you are choosing to be the machine instead of own the machine. This is mathematical self-destruction, and almost everyone does it because no one taught them to calculate the true cost of their time. You must become obsessed with what your time is actually worth, and not what you are currently paid, but what it could be worth if you invested it in building leverage instead of doing tasks. Every hour you spend on low-value activities is an hour stolen from high-value development. Every hour maintaining instead of building is an hour your competition uses to get further ahead. I know you will say you cannot afford to hire help, but the truth is you cannot afford not to. You must free hours to develop the skills and systems that will pay you far more than whatever you save by doing everything yourself. Guard your time so aggressively that people struggle to access you, not because you are arrogant, because scarcity creates value. When you are hard to reach, you become worth reaching. When you are always available, you become worth ignoring. Here is the final piece, the one that separates people who dream from people who build. And if you miss this, everything else falls apart. Hope is a disease disguised as a virtue. It keeps you passive while life passes. I hope things get better. I hope someone notices my hard work. I hope the economy improves. I hope luck finds me. These are the prayers of people who die waiting. Hope is what you do when you have given up control. It is a way to feel good about inaction. It lets you believe something is going to change without requiring you to change anything. And that is exactly why nothing ever changes. You cannot sit around hoping luck will arrive like a package you ordered. You must go into the world and drag luck back by force. You must hunt it down and capture it. You must kill the part of yourself that waits to be rescued. No one is coming to save you. There is no secret inheritance on the way. There is no lottery ticket with your name on it. There is no mentor about to appear and change everything. There is no government program that will make you wealthy. There is only you and the cold, unfeeling mechanics of the market. This truth destroys weak people. They hear it and collapse into despair or denial. But it liberates strong people, because if no one is coming, then everything depends on you. And if everything depends on you, then you have complete control. You are not a victim. You are not unlucky. You are not stuck. You are simply someone who has not yet decided to act. Stop hoping. Start executing. A plan is not a dream. A dream is vague and pleasant and goes nowhere. A plan is a specific sequence of actions with deadlines and accountability. Learn a skill that solves expensive, painful problems. Offer that skill to people who are suffering. Convert earnings into assets that work while you sleep. Repeat until the assets generate more than you need to live. That is the entire formula. It is boring, it is repetitive, it requires patience. It is exactly how real wealth is built. The only variable is whether you have the discipline to do it when you do not feel motivated, when your friends are relaxing, when Netflix is calling, when the bed is warm and the morning is cold. Will you work anyway? Will you study when others party? Will you face rejection and embarrassment and keep moving? Will you delay pleasure for years to build something permanent? If yes, then wealth is not a possibility. It is a mathematical certainty. It is not something that might happen. It is something that will happen. It is just a matter of time. The only question is whether you will stay the course long enough to collect what you have built. So why is getting rich simpler than you were told? Because you have been drowning a basic math problem in emotion. Fear of failure, fear of success, fear of what others will think, guilt about wanting more than your parents had, pride that keeps you from starting small or looking stupid, expectations that paralyze you into waiting for perfect conditions that will never arrive. Remove the emotion, see the equation clearly, solve pain, build leverage, signal value, protect what you earn, buy back your time. That is the entire formula. There is no secret beyond it. There is no hidden step that gurus are keeping from you. The information is everywhere. The only thing missing is execution. The difficult part is not the strategy. The difficult part is becoming the person who executes the strategy. You must become someone who does not need applause to keep going. Someone comfortable with isolation. Someone who can see reality without flinching and act without guarantees. Someone who can fail publicly and get back up privately. Someone who plays long games while everyone else is desperate for quick wins. You made it to the end. Do you understand what that means? 90% of people who started this video are gone. They left when I told them their poverty was a choice. They left when I said their friends might be poison. They left when I challenged beliefs they built their identity around. They could not handle having their illusions stripped away. But you stayed. You stayed through every uncomfortable truth. You stayed when it would have been easier to click away. That tells me something about you that you might not even know about yourself yet. You are not like them. You were built for pressure that would crush ordinary people. Somewhere inside you already knew everything I said was true. You just needed someone to say it out loud. Here is what I need you to do right now. Subscribe to this channel, not because I am asking, but because of what that action represents. The person who subscribes after watching this is making a declaration. They are saying, I am not going back to sleep. I am not returning to comfortable lies. I am not going to pretend I did not hear this. I want more. I want to see how deep this goes. I want to understand what else I have been missing. Every video I release is designed to deprogram another piece of the poverty code that was installed in you. Every video gives you another weapon, another key, another piece of the map they tried to hide. The information in these videos has the power to completely change your financial reality if you apply it, but only if you actually see them. Most people will not subscribe. They will close this video and immediately scroll to something that makes them feel comfortable instead of something that makes them grow. They will watch entertainment while you build an empire. They will stay asleep while you wake up. That is fine. They were never going to make it anyway. The door is not for everyone. It is only for those who are ready. But you are ready. I know, because you are still here reading these words while everyone else gave up. So do it now. Subscribe. Turn on notifications. And I will see you in the next video where we go even deeper. This is not the end. This is just the beginning.